ওহে বৈষ্ণব ঠাকুর দয়ার সাগর হে দাসে করুণা দিয়া পদ ছায়া শোধ হে আমায় তোমার চরণ
Antya Leela, Chapter 6. All glory to Lord Gaurachandra and Lord Nityananda. All glory to all the Lord's associates. Lord Nityananda continued his congregational chanting pastimes and experienced great joy in the association of all his eternal associates and servitors. Lord Nityananda performed his pastimes here in Navadvip, just like he had done in his previous incarnation in Vrindavan. He attracted every living entity with amazing simplicity to surrender at the lotus feet of Lord Chaitanya. Lord Nityananda was like the brilliant sun surrounded by his inspired and enthusiastic devotees as they roamed all over Navadvip performing kirtan. His divine body was covered with ornaments and flower garlands. His lips were ruby red from chewing betel and camphor. Seeing the activities of Lord Nityananda, some experienced divine exhilaration, but there were others who became suspicious. A certain Brahmin residing in Navadvip and who had studied together with Lord Chaitanya became suspicious of Lord Nityananda's behavior. The Brahmin was very attached to his devotion to Lord Chaitanya, but unfortunately he was unaware of Lord Nityananda's transcendental potencies. One day the Brahmin decided to go to Nilachala Puri and stayed there immersed in sublime joy. Every day he visited Lord Chaitanya and felt a gradual increase in attraction for the Lord. On one of his daily visits, he suddenly felt the urge to ask the Lord some questions in confidence. The Brahmin inquired, "O Lord, I have a request. If you allow me, then I can present it before you. If you consider me as one of your servants, then I would like to hear your views on certain points." Lord Nityananda, the Avadhut, is now in Navadvip. I cannot understand his behavior. People say he is in the renounced order of life, namely sannyas, yet I see him chewing betel and camphor all the time. A sannyasi is not supposed to even touch certain things like gold, silver, precious gems, and so on, but I see him decorating his body all over with ornaments made from these substances. Instead of a saffron loincloth, he is putting on flowing silk robes and using sandalwood and flower garlands. Another of the Lord's unusual characteristics is that he does not carry the sannyas staff, but an iron rod. He is always seen in the company of Sudras, persons coming from the lower castes. I could not see Lord Nityananda always acting strictly according to the instructions of the scriptures, hence I am assailed with doubts about him. Many persons hail him as a great personality, yet why does he not act in a way befitting his position as a sannyasi? O Lord, please remember that I am just your menial servant. Please tell me what all this actually means. The pious Brahmin thus inquired submissively at an opportune moment from Lord Chaitanya, and the Lord revealed to him the esoteric meanings of everything without reservations. The Lord smiled gently at the Brahmin's words and spoke the following. He said, "Listen carefully, O Brahmin. One who is very elevated and a realized soul is free from all faults. In the Srimad Bhagavatam it is stated, those who are free from unwanted desires such as attachment for things unconnected to Lord Krishna, those who have transcended the mundane vision of seeing only the material covering of the soul, namely this gross body, and have risen to the platform of perceiving the spiritual spark in every living entity, thus having attained equal vision, those who have become elevated to the spiritual platform of seeing face to face the Supreme Lord, who is beyond the three modes of material nature, these great souls who are dedicated to me, the Supreme Personality of Godhead, do not have to enjoy or suffer the results of either pious or impious activities, nor do they have to act according to rules and regulations. Lord Nityananda is absolutely pure. He is in this material world like the lotus, which is untouched by the water it stands in. O Brahman, know for certain that Lord Krishna is eternally within him. If any person tries to imitate Lord Nityananda, then he will suffer terrible consequences and incur heavy sinful reactions. If anyone other than Lord Shiva tries to drink deadly poison, then he will surely die. The scriptures carry sufficient examples to substantiate this fact. In the Srimad Bhagavatam, it says, "No one should try to act in this manner, not even in the mind." Just as if a person other than Lord Shiva tries to drink the deadly poison that came out of the ocean, will certainly die. Similarly, if due to foolishness someone tries to imitate the pastimes of the Supreme Lord, he will surely be destroyed. O King, the fire is all-consuming, yet it remains unaffected and uncontaminated by any sin or dirt. Similarly, a very powerful and potent personality should not be condemned for transgressing religious laws or staring lustily at a woman. Therefore, if anyone criticizes Lord Nityananda's activities, then he will have to suffer for his own mistakes severe reactions life after life. Even if a very elevated soul acts in a derogatory manner, if he is criticized, nay, even ridiculed, then he is surely doomed. All these conclusions one can learn from the Srimad Bhagavatam, but only if it is explained by a pure Vaishnava. Listen attentively what the Srimad Bhagavatam has to say about the person who laughed and ridiculed a great personality. Lord Krishna and Lord Balaram were staying and studying in the house of their guru. After completing their education, they wanted to return home, so they inquired from the guru what they could offer him as a dakshin or donation. The guru consulted his wife and said to them that he and his wife would like to have their dead son brought back to life. Lord Krishna and Lord Balaram immediately went to see Yamaraj, the Lord of Death. On request from them, all the formalities were concluded and the son was brought back alive to their guru. When Mother Devaki heard about this wonderful happening, she also wanted her dead sons back. So one day she approached Lord Krishna and Lord Balaram and begged them, saying, "Oh, please listen to me, Krishna and Balaram. You are the lords of the mystics. You are both the original lords, eternal and absolutely pure. You are the father of this universe. I know you are the cause of all causes. Creation, maintenance, and annihilation of this universe are carried out by the partial expansions of your expansions. Yet in spite of these potencies, you both have appeared in this world as my sons, only to alleviate the suffering of this world. Just as you have brought back your guru's son from the abode of Yamaraj as a parting donation to your guru and his wife, similarly, I also yearn to see all my 6 sons, the mean Kamsa, mercilessly murdered. The guru's son had long been dead, and yet you brought him back to life by your mystical potencies. Then kindly satiate my thirst to see my sons and bring them back to life." As soon as they heard their mother's wish, they immediately proceeded to Bali Maharaj's palace. When Bali Maharaj saw that the visitors were his most worshipable lordships, Lord Krishna and Lord Balaram, he felt a surge of spiritual bliss in his heart. He surrendered all he possessed, his wealth, wife and children, and himself, at their lordship's lotus feet. The ecstasy of love of Godhead was building up inside him. Horripilation appeared all over his body, and he began to shed tears of divine bliss. He fell at their feet, and clutching them to his heart, he offered prayers to them. Bali Maharaj prayed, "All glories to Lord Ananta, who has appeared as Lord Sankarshan, and all glories to Lord Krishna, the crest jewel of Gokula. O Lord Balaram, Haladhar, you are the best friend and leader of all the young cowherd boys, and Lord Krishna is the most precious treasure of his surrendered devotees. O Lord, both of you are rarely to be seen even by great purified sages who are on the transcendental platform. Yet, my Lord, you are so magnanimous that you have appeared before me, a demon steeped in dark ignorance. Therefore, as is described in the Vedic literature, you have no friends or enemies, and this I am witnessing at this very moment. The one who came to murder you by making you suck her poisoned breast got liberation to the Vaikuntha planets after being killed by you. Hence, it is difficult to understand your heart. Even the Vedas and the great mystic yogis have failed to do so. Your illusory potency is so unfathomable that masters of mysticism fail to grapple with it. Then how can a sinful demon ever understand it? O Lord of the universe, my only prayer is that you do not cast me down to the dark well of material existence. I fall at your lotus feet. Please, Just let me live under a tree and pass my days in peace. Kindly count me amongst your servitors, and give me their association, that I may never desire for anything else." Bali Maharaj prayed in this manner at Lord Krishna's and Lord Balaram's lotus feet. Ganga Devi, or Bhagirati, springing from Lord Narayan's lotus feet, purifies the abodes of Lord Shiva, Lord Brahma, and so on as she flows through them. Now Bali Maharaj and his family, having washed their lordship's lotus feet, were drinking and sprinkling over their heads that same sacred water of the Ganga. Bali Maharaj then worshipped their lordships, offering them incense, perfumed oils, flowers, camphor, and ghee lamps, clothing, and beautiful ornaments. He then prayed to the lords, "O Lord, kindly instruct me, if you consider me your servant. Whoever follows your instructions easily transcends all rules and regulations." Bali Maharaj's words pleased their lordships, and now they attended to the business at hand. The Lord said, "Dear Sir Bali, please hear our reason for coming here. My mother's 6 sons were murdered by the wicked Kamsa. Later, he was killed as a reaction to this grievous sin. Mother Devaki is greatly afflicted by this calamity, and whenever she remembers this, she cries piteously. You have these 6 boys with you, so I have come to take them to please my mother. All 6 of them were Brahma's grandsons, and they were perfected beings. I will relate to you how they landed themselves in this distressful situation. Once, very surprisingly, Brahma was struck by Cupid's arrow. Blinded with lust, he chased his own daughter. The 6 young boys began to smirk and laugh seeing this scene, and this caused them to fall down instantly from their godly positions. Because they had ridiculed a great personality, they had to take birth in the family of the vicious demon Hiranyakashipu, who had vowed to live by the sword and put everyone into subjugation. During the fight between the demigods and the demons, Indra vanquished these 6 with his powerful thunderbolt weapon. They died after much torment. Yogamaya then arranged for them one by one to be born as Mother Devaki's sons. In this life, they also suffered greatly from birth. Even while mere infants, they were murdered by their own maternal uncle Kamsa. Mother Devaki, of course, is unaware of these hidden facts. She considers them to be her sons. I want to return them to my Mother Devaki, hence my presence here. When they drink Mother Devaki's breast milk, they will be instantaneously acquitted of all their previous sins. Take heed, O Bali Maharaj. The consequences of ridiculing a devotee of the Lord are very severe. Even perfected yogis suffer heavily if they disrespect a Vaishnava, what to mention about lesser humans. A Vaishnava offender has to pay a heavy price life after life. I am delving on this subject for your benefit so you may learn from this and never insult a Vaishnava. If a person worships me and chants my name but offends a Vaishnava, he has to suffer severe setbacks in his devotional life. And as for those who love and respect my devotees, I make myself easily available to them. In the scriptures it says, there may exist some doubt about the success in attaining perfection by serving the Supreme Personality of Godhead, but there is no doubt whatsoever in achieving perfection by serving the pure devotees of the Supreme Lord. Further, in another place it is said, those who only worship Lord Govinda Krishna but do not worship and serve the Lord's devotees are highly insolent. They never receive the Lord's blessings. Dear Bali, you are dear to me and you are my servitor. Hence I have revealed these esoteric meanings of the scriptures to you. Bali Maharaj felt divine exhilaration from hearing the Lord's instructions. He acted on that moment and brought the 6 sons and offered them as gifts to the Lord. Lord Balaram and Lord Krishna escorted the 6 boys to their Mother Devaki. Mother Devaki was overwhelmed with joy and love seeing her 6 dead sons now before her. Her breast milk flowed out of affection, and she suckled the 6 sons. When these 6 boys sucked Mother Devaki's breast milk, they were in fact taking the remnants of the Supreme Lord. This gave them instant realization of the truth. They fell flat on the ground like sticks, offering obeisances to the Supreme Lord and everyone else. The Lord looked kindly upon them and started instructing them. He said, now you may return to the heavenly abodes of the demigods, your actual residence. But remember, never to ridicule or laugh at a great spiritual personality. Lord Brahma is an expansion of the Supreme Lord. Hence, is to receive equal respect as the Supreme Lord. He is not to be condemned even if found doing wrong. You have already suffered severe consequences by deriding him, so in the future beware of such mistakes. Now you must go and beg forgiveness from Lord Brahma, then only will you feel cleansed and blissful. So, my dear Brahmin, I have related to you these topics from the Srimad Bhagavatam, so that you may give up your suspicions about Lord Nityananda. Lord Nityananda is in the highest transcendence. Persons with little knowledge and piety cannot comprehend his position, and if any person becomes attracted to him because of the miracles he performs from time to time, then also he will attain liberation. Lord Nityananda has advented only to liberate the fallen conditioned souls. They will be actually liberated because of his causeless mercy. Lord Nityananda's behavior is beyond the jurisdiction of any rules and regulations. Who has the capacity to understand his mind? Without properly gauging his extraordinary and supramundane character, if anyone criticizes him, though he may be serving the Supreme Lord, still he will lose all his devotion. So you must immediately leave for Navadweep and make everyone there understand these esoteric facts about Lord Nityananda. If by any chance someone criticizes him, then no one can save him from his imminent doom. On the other hand, whosoever loves and respects him is true in his devotion to me. This I confirm firmly. If Lord Nityananda marries a Muslim girl or enters the drinking house, his lotus feet are still most worshipable, even for Lord Brahma. Lord Chaitanya's potent words acted effectively in the Brahmin's heart. He became blissful, and his faith and love for Lord Nityananda increased tremendously. The Brahmin came to Navadweep. The first thing on his arrival, he went to meet Lord Nityananda. The Brahmin honestly admitted his offenses to the Lord. The Lord in turn heard him patiently and then graced him with his causeless mercy. Lord Nityananda's activities and character are the most confidential topics in the Vedas. They are inscrutable by human norms. He is the supreme mystic who is also known as the original Supreme Lord Ananta, holding up the entire material creation on one of his 1,000 hoods. His body is absolute and transcendental. Without Lord Chaitanya's mercy, it is impossible to fully understand him. Different people know Lord Nityananda in different ways. Some say he is exactly like Lord Balaram. Another says he is the foremost and dearest of Lord Chaitanya's devotees. Again, someone says he is supremely potent, an expansion of the omnipotent Lord. Many persons honestly admit that they cannot fathom his character. In this manner, people freely air their opinions about the Lord. Whatever the people might say about Lord Chaitanya or Lord Nityananda, may their lotus feet be permanently imprinted in my heart. I pray at everyone's feet to invoke their blessings, that birth after birth I can remain the Lord's servant and he my eternal master. That is my only desire. After hearing all this about Lord Nityananda's boundless mercy, if anyone is so degraded and sinful as to still criticize the Lord, then I firmly kick on his head. Lord Chaitanya is the Lord of my Lord and Master, Lord Nityananda. This fact gives me great hope and strength. Will I ever be blessed to see my Lord Nityananda and Lord Chaitanya sitting on a throne surrounded by all their servitor associates? All glory to Lord Chaitanya. O Lord Gauranga, kindly bless me that I may have Lord Nityananda's shelter. Along with this plea, I further pray that even after gaining Lord Nityananda's association, I may never forget your lotus feet. Wherever you and Lord Nityananda appear as incarnations, there I want to be eligible to be your eternal servitor. Lord Sri Krishna Chaitanya and Lord Nityananda Prabhu are my life and soul. I, Vrindavan Das, humbly offer this song at their lotus feet.